How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We'll do another first thoughts today. This one is on Kwain, Itinerant Meddler. Before I get into it, I just want to say the giveaways come. The results for the giveaway, I'm gonna do them this weekend. So the video should be out this weekend, announcing who wins the playmat, which I put somewhere over here. I don't know. It's over there, but wins the playmat and also the opportunity to be featured on the channel. So that'll be announced this weekend. As long as all things go well, it's going to be this weekend. And what else we got? Oh yeah, if you guys enjoy my content, remember, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel and you're going to buy any of the cards I talk about in this video, buy them through the TCG Player affiliate link down below. If you do so, it helps the channel. Also, if you really want to support the channel, you can join us on Patreon. We're up to 3 patrons now. It's a good time. You can join us in the Discord and have some fun with us. We play some games occasionally. It's a good time. It's a good time. And yeah, remember to comment and like and do all that jazz too. And let's hop into this. So Kwain, Itinerant Meddler. So there's a few ways you could really build this deck. Like it's kind of like you could build it kind of like as a control-y style deck, and it's just like your card draw engine, but it can draw cards for everybody. You can do it's like a kind of a stacksy commander because you'll stacks out your opponents while you're kind of able to actually capitalize on the benefit compared to your opponents. I think those two game plans are okay. I don't think they're the best, and Kwain is definitely not the best commander for those strategies. But those are a couple of strategies I saw some people talking about doing with Kwain. The best strategy I can see is stuff that's like group huggy and trying to capitalize on your opponent's drawing cards or gaining life. So cards that interact really well with that. So some big cards to have in this deck that are just very powerful here. You can do cards that trigger, like have effects that trigger when your opponents draw cards. So you can do like Consecrated Sphinx, so you can draw a lot of extra cards. Mind's Eye, so you can tap Kwain, pay some mana, and draw extra cards too. Smothering Tide, whenever your opponents draw cards, you're going to get treasures. And Hole Breacher, whenever your opponents draw cards, you're going to get treasures. Hole Breacher is going to be not a staple in like any blue deck at this point. But I think those are some really key cards in this deck. I think those are auto includes if you're building Kwain. Another cool thing that you can do with this deck is Kwain can combo with Mind Over Matter. You can use Mind Over Matter to tap Kwain or you can discard a card to untap Kwain, tap Kwain to draw a card, and then draw through your entire deck, and then play Oracle of Thassa's Oracle or the Jace or Laboratory Maniac to win the game. Those all work. That's a good win con in the deck. Other ways that you can break parity with Kwain, you can use stuff like Alhammar's Archive or Teferi's Ageless Insight. Both of those net you extra cards. You can also use Tomorrow Azami's Familiar, so you can look through some extra cards as opposed to just drawing the top one. Just a good way to break parity, so you're getting a bigger benefit than your opponents are. Then you got stuff that's hug draw, like cards that make it so everybody draws cards to help with the game plan that Kwain kind of initiates. You got stuff like Dictator Crucifix. You got Font of Mythos, Windfall, Kami of the Crescent Moon. You got Howling Mine. You got Folio of Fancies, which is a good win con as well, because you can actually mill out your opponents with that. Then there's some just fun little group hug cards that you can throw in, like Tidal Barracuda and Fractured Identity. But those seem like cool includes in this deck. And as win cons in this deck, you got 2 things going on here. You're gonna be making it so your opponents draw a lot of cards. You can throw in Force Fruition to make it so your opponents draw through their decks when they cast spells, and you win the game that way. Or Felidar Sovereign, because this is also a life gain deck, so you're gonna be gaining a good amount of life. Felidar Sovereign can win the game for you right on the spot. Seems like a decent include. And so some other cards I wanted to talk about that lean more into the life gain side of this. You got stuff like Dawn of Hope, which is a decent card draw engine. It also can make tokens with your extra mana. You got Heliod the Sun Crown, just to make your stuff a little bigger. And it can give you lifelink if you need it. Will of Lost Dreams, a good way to draw cards off your life gain. So Kwain kind of draws you 2 cards for tapping it in 1 mana. There's Drog Skull Reaver, which is a really cool card. Whenever you gain life, draw a card. So if you tap Kwain, you're going to draw a card, gain a life, draw a card. And also Flying Double Strike Lifelinker. That seems pretty strong. It's a lot of mana, but it's a cool card in this deck. Then you got stuff like Tolarian Kraken, which is not bad. If you draw a card, you can pay 1 life, and you can tap or untap a creature. So you can, or pay 1 mana, tap or untap a creature. So you can tap Kwain to draw a card, and you pay 1 mana to untap Kwain, tap Kwain to draw a card, pay 1 mana to untap Kwain. It's a nice little engine you got there. I think that's the card I'm thinking of. Nadir Kraken is also a decent one. You can pay 1 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a token. So that's a good way to facilitate this as well. Approach of the Second Sun just seems like a solid win con in the deck. You got Solitary Confinement, which is a really, really cool card. Just I'll keep sacrificing it unless you discard a card. Okay. You skip your draw step, so that's the big downside. So you have to discard a card every turn, and you skip your draw step. So typically, you'll be doing this until you can no longer do this. And it makes it so you can't really target spells or abilities and prevent all damage that's done to you. So it seems like a very, very good include in this deck. Then you also got stuff like Guafa, which is just kind of cool. It kind of fits the theme, making your opponents draw cards. And you want to protect yourself. So stuff like Crawl Space, Propaganda, and Ghostly Prison seem like good includes in the deck. And so yeah, that's what I got for Kwain. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can help support the channel by using the TCG Player affiliate link down below if you're going to buy any of their cards. And check us out on Patreon if you really want to support the channel. See you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.